So hello students, in this chapter, we will going to learn quadrilaterals or some special types of quadrilateral. Some special type of quadrilateral. Okay, so some special type of quadrilateral we're going to learn. Now, before I start the chapter, let me teach you standard type of quadrilaterals. You will understand with this one diagram itself all types of quadrilateral. Now see this, the huge quadrilateral portion has been divided in four parts, something like this. Okay, like this and like this. Okay, so the entire quadrilateral, students, entire quadrilateral parts, it has been divided in four sections. One is this huge big one, and then the remaining is three ones. Okay, so what is this three ones? So one is trapezium. Trapezium. Now, how does it look like? Trapezium looks something like this. Say there would be one pair of the opposite side would be parallel to each other. The one pair of the opposite side is parallel, and the one another pair would be non-parallel. So this is how the trapezium will going to look like. Like, can you give me the examples of trapezium? See, simple. Like you must have seen the lamp post. You know? So the lamp post, like top portion would look like something called as trapezium, or else the houses like the this what do you say? Uh, the top portion of the house looks like the trapezium. Or there would be many such examples you can give as a trapezium. Then there comes kite. Okay, so these are all some special type of quadrilateral. What is kite? Kite actually looks like elongated type quadrilateral. Are you getting it? So these two sides would be equal, and these two sides would be equal. Now, what is this? Dicto signs indicate these two are equal. Are you getting it? So this is kite. Now, what are the properties of the kite? Like these two adjacent sides are equal, and also if we'll draw this diagonals, so this long diagonal is perpendicular of the shorter one, and it bisect the shorter one. We will going to see everything in detail. Okay, and then the third one is arrowhead. I hope students you all are writing. So this is the third one is called as arrowhead. Now what is the arrowhead? Arrowhead something looks like this. Look at this. This is like one line, two line, and then it looks something like this. So this is concave polygon basically. So arrowhead is, it looks something like this. And what is this huge thing? This is basically parallelogram. Parallelogram. And now this parallelogram is again divided in three portions. Okay, let me just draw it with some shapes, standard shapes. So some of them they would be rectangle. Some of them they would be second. Okay, so these are a parallelogram. Now this would be rectangle, and then some of them they would be rhombus. And these, the common section between them, the common section between the rectangle and rhombus, this is common portion. That is called as square. That is called as square. Square. Now we will going to learn the properties of the parallelogram, properties of the rectangle, properties of the square. We're going to learn properties of the rhombus and trapezium and kite, and then we will going to start solving the sums based on that. So some students are having some difficulties or something like that. But before I solve the doubts or difficulties of some people, please pause the video and copy paste whatever you can see on the screen. Okay, put everything in your book. Jaldi se. So students, now I hope you know all the 7 standard types of quadrilateral: parallelogram, rectangle, square, rhombus, trapezium, kite, and arrowhead. Now in this next part of the video, what we're going to do, we're going to learn each and every type of quadrilateral in detail. So let's begin with parallelogram. So what exactly is parallelogram? I'll just show you in detail. So this is how the parallelogram look like. So it can be drawn something like this, or it can be drawn something like this also. Draw one pair of the opposite side is equal and parallel. So one pair of the opposite side is equal and parallel means this would be parallel. Parallel means they do not intersect each other, or this pair is parallel. So opposite sides are equal, and parallel. Opposite sides are equal and parallel. What do you mean by that? So suppose this is 4, even this will going to be 4. If this is 5, even this will going to be 5. So opposite sides are equal and parallel. You understood? So please write it down quickly, draw the diagram and start writing the properties. Okay, before I move ahead, let me teach you how to name the quadrilaterals. How to name the quadrilaterals? Look at this: A, B, C, D. It goes clockwise or anti-clockwise. So the naming of the quadrilateral should be always clockwise or anti-clockwise. Just write down this sentence in the top margin somewhere. The naming of the quadrilateral, write it on this sentence. Naming of quadrilateral should be clockwise or anti-clockwise It is never zigzag. Okay, so it will go either like this or else it will go like this. You getting it? So this is called as clockwise and this is called as anti-clockwise. So let's move further. Now I hope you finish writing the sentence. So what is the first property? What is the first property of the parallelogram? Opposite sides of parallelogram. This is a symbol of parallelogram. This is a symbol of parallelogram. So opposite side. What do you mean by opposite side? So these are called as opposite side. AD and BC are called as opposite side. Or AB and CD, they are called as opposite side. So opposite sides of the parallelogram are equal. They are equal and parallel. This is the first important property. Now the second property. What is the second property? Opposite angles are always equal. These angle and these angles are equal. These angle and these angles are equal. So opposite angles of parallelogram are equal. I hope you finish writing this. Then the third property. The diagonals are, what do you mean by the diagonals? So this is called as the diagonal of the parallelogram. Or this is also called as, how many diagonals we have in parallelogram? 2. One is like this and one is like this. So you can say AC and BD. If we'll name this A, B, C, D, then AC and BD are called as the diagonal of parallelogram. So are they equal? No, they are not necessarily equal. They are unequal. Like AC, suppose if it is 10, then BD may or may not be 10. Are you getting it? So the diagonals are not equal. Diagonals are not equal. But they can be equal. They can be equal. Or you can say may or may not be equal. May or may not be equal. Okay, diagonals are may or may not be equal. Then the fourth property, diagonals are bisectors of each other. Diagonals are bisectors of each other. What do you mean by diagonals are bisectors of each other? Yeah, let me teach you. Bisectors of each other. What do you mean by that? The diagonals are bisectors of each other. So suppose AO is equal to CO and BO is equal to DO. You can write it down like this. AO is equals to CO and BO is equals to DO. That is called as the diagonals are bisectors of each other. Are you getting it? So you can pause the video and you can write down all these 4 properties quickly in your book. So this is about parallelogram. This is all about parallelogram. I hope you understood everything perfectly, isn't it? So this is about parallelogram. You can pause the video and copy paste. Okay, students, now we're learning rectangle. So how does the rectangle look like? So this is how the rectangle look like. So 1 second, I just draw it. So in the boundary of the rectangle, you can see that is also rectangle. So even it can be drawn something like this. So A, B, C, D is a rectangle. So quadrilateral A, B, C, D is a rectangle. So what have we learned about the rectangle? So the opposite sides are equal. Okay. And then they are parallel also. Like this side AB is parallel to side CD. And side BC is parallel to side AB. Isn't it? So first one. Opposite sides are equal and parallel. This is a symbol of equal, or you can say congruent also, and then they are parallel also. Second one, opposite angles. Okay, all angles are 90 degree. All angles are 90 degree. All angles are 90 degree means, okay, this would be 90 degree, this would be 90 degree, and so on. Third one, the diagonals are equal over here. The diagonals are always equal. Diagonals are equal. So how many diagonals are there? 2 diagonals are there. Okay, shall I give you the reason for that? Say suppose this is 3, this is 4, then what is the length of the diagonal AC? That would be 5 unit. Same thing, since this is 3, even this is going to be 3. So if this BC is 3, CD is 4, what about the length of BD? This will also going to be 5. You understood? So the diagonals are equal. Diagonals are equal. And the fourth one, what we can say about the fourth one? Are they bisectors? May or may not be. If these 2 triangles are congruent, we can say these 2 are equal. So can we say they are congruent? Yes, these and these angles are congruent. These and yeah, so these 2 would be going to be equal. The diagonals are bisectors of each other. Diagonals are bisectors of each other. Okay, so this was about rectangles. You can pause the video and copy paste quickly. Hurry, guys.